my take on the situation related to the contribution that the healthcare system has single-handedly or perhaps collaboratively assisted amongst the supremacy structure to refuse the account of a black person and to deny the experience of a black person, and because they are foreign to the life of a black person, their foreign nature has warranted them under prejudice to label the black people with the very same diseases, illnesses, and white labeled conditions that they created. They will point that towards the black community without actually understanding their contribution in perhaps aiding towards bringing this together. The level of discrimination in the healthcare system is concerning because a lot of the data they pull is historic, or should I say it's historical in the sense that they will deny within themselves that the black man is actually capable of undergoing different cultural or different approaches and different outlooks to recover his experience from racism and from the violence that the white system has aggravated him into, to convince himself that he is lesser, that he is inferior, that he is incapable of being equated with the white structure. And anytime the colored person tries to point this out or even tries to rise on the occasion, you will find that there exists a group of silent people, or even should I even say cultures, or even very simply cults, who actually have a historical track record of working together towards one common goal or mission, which is to actually remove the colored people from society and to actually convince everyone within the colored community that they are under the authority of white people. But the problem is the system is so trickery. I don't know what word to use. The misconduct within the system is used or weaponized to the point where they blame the colored people for their own inappropriate treatment, or should I say this, their inability to treat the colored people, because they either have no knowledge of the colored people or they refuse to acknowledge that a colored person can be followed around and have every right to fear or to be concerned when he is being followed around by security in a store, or when he is being profiled by police, given the historical nature of racial profiling and what it has done to black people even when they comply with the law. The system refuses to actually acknowledge that this is a reasonable situation for a colored person to raise distress or concern. So anytime he's caught raising a concern, there are immediate labels thrown his way. And there is nobody who assists more in this labeling than the brainwashed black masses who work inwardly within the colored community, who claim colored identity, but have actually undergone a white procedure of thinking to where they also advocate on the justified claim that the system has for bringing this colored person to a specific generalized label of being ill, of being unsuitable for society. It really does make you question, as a matter of fact, how the system has done their absolute best to silence colored people, denying colored people the right to a voice, forcing colored people into institutionalized racism, which has never been subsidized on behalf of any group, as far as the government's concerned, to accommodate for the prehistoric experience of colored people and the current circumstances of colored people who are currently facing pressing facts of racism today. These professionals do their absolute best to smile off the issue, to waive the issue, to medicate the issue, notwithstanding the fact that the procedures in which they believe are treating the issue are actually only doing nothing but hindering the success of the colored people, and are actually even making the issue worse. Given the fact that the treatment is nothing more than an experiment, more than another reason to use black people as a commodity, so that these multi-billion-dollar medical industries and companies and medical professionals can actually profit off of selling their products and using the data, using black people as data, as a commodity to bring together a conclusion as to how they can further market another product in the situation that they know the American economy and the system in which they served has actually never catered for a colored person to work within those ranks and those barriers without accepting a level of white-minded thinking. And due to the fact that they refuse black thinking, being that they refuse the black experience, and they refuse the black struggle, and they refuse black anti-black racism, they refuse to acknowledge that these are still pressing factors. They will tell you that they are not discriminating and that they treat everybody fair because of their color. But it is these same people who will also hide from you the statistics and the data that black people are more likely to undergo mental frustration due to the triggers of racism, of trauma, and of harassments within the white systems that have actually relied on the data which suggests that colored people are a threat or a danger to them. And so by brushing that danger away from them, they try to squeeze or generalize that danger amongst the black communities, despite the fact that the colored communities have never imposed any sort of threats as far as it goes with and I don't mean to compare apples to oranges, but the ultimate conclusion I'm trying to draw to you is that the same threats that they propose black people are causing within their systems have been evidenced to be the same threats that even white people have been capable of causing within their systems. As a matter of fact, I think white people have caused even worse threats, even more concerns. Anytime you read of a case of an educational mass violent situation, it has always been with a white person who has been systemically rooted into a medical concern. Anytime you read of any case, and I'm not justifying any colored person who has gone out there and obviously been indoctrinated by the system into the frustration which he believes he needs to alleviate. I am actually working towards actively transforming that way of thinking. I'm just informing you that when you look at the worst mass crisis in history, they have been done by white people. They haven't even been done by black people. Let's not even talk about the S word. You know what I'm talking about, but I personally, I think for my sake as a colored person and for the sake of a white person, it's best that you actually hide the numbers in which colored people were taken away from their own will and actually taken off their livelihood. And keep in mind, those numbers aren't even accurate. Those are only the numbers they were capable of obtaining. They lost count of millions. Okay. Meanwhile, you have white people who are more you look at the use of alcoholism and drug use amongst white teenagers. It has sporadically increased, but you will never see these racist medical or care systems going through with the same procedures they go through with a black person, due to the fact that they are convinced that it is the black people who are actually the ones who need to be heavily labeled, when it's actually the black people are the ones who need to be disabled from ever even stepping into a system that has been indoctrinated to already scrutinize the black people even further than they already have, to already convince the black people that they are who they have been throughout history as far as the white masses are concerned. Notwithstanding that if you go to places in South America, if you go to places in Africa, they have appropriate measures, cultural methods in which they can actually care for the black struggle, in which they can cure diseases such as malaria, in which they can cure diseases which affects black biology. All of this which is foreign to the American community, and it remains foreign due to the fact that they don't even know how to treat themselves and treat their own kind.